Alright guys, I'm going to make you a little quick video here and show you what's bogged me down so bad on these brakes on the Dozer build. Buddy, I tell you, I'm earning this. One obstacle right after the other, but thankfully with a little bit of time and work you can usually overcome them. I hadn't totally got over this one yet, but I'm nearly over the hump. What I'm doing, I'm putting rear brake drums from a 99 model Mazda 626LX, and I'm going to put them on the front. I'm going to show you in a minute why I didn't go ahead and put disc on the back or drum on the back, and it'll become clear to you why I didn't. First of all, here's the spindle off the front of the tractor now, the way it exists when you saw it on the last video on the test run. You know, and it mounts here like so. Spindle off. What that's off of? That's off of a car carrying dolly. Extra strong. If it's strong enough to carry a car, it's strong enough to hold this little Dozer up. You know, and it went here like so. The bolt pattern I measured the best I could down at the junkyard before I took these drums and backing plates off, and the drum was close but no cigar. So I had to take a grinding rock, enlarge each one of the holes in the drum to where it would fit the spindle. It took a pretty good while, pretty good bit of cutting, because them are either bigger, they're a little bit bigger in diameter than the closest thing I could find in a thin type drum brakes. This is ultra thin drum brakes, because you ain't got a lot of room. There's just not much room up in the front of this, and so I had to use extra thin drums. Okay, got over that obstacle. Then I come to here's my spindle that went on the front of the tractor that holds the bearing, you know, the bearing assembly that bolts to the front of the tractor. Okay, get to the backing plate, it won't line up. So I'm having to cut and trim and grind out with a grinding rock this to where it would fit. Not only am I changing the bolt pattern, I'm also changing the depth of the drum. The drum, before I cut this, just sitting it on there either way, it did not line the drum up proper, and it wouldn't have worked. So by trimming it out here along in the holes to where the spindle will fit down in there just a little bit, now the drum will come along and sit on it perfectly, like so. Alright, there's the spindle. Alright, now take your drum. I may have to lay the camera down. Okay, just a little bit off, about 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, but that's not going to matter. I can do a little grind and get it a little bit closer than what it was, but that's close enough to satisfy me. And this has just been a problem every which way you look at it. But luckily, you know, like I say, I can do it. Now, when I get through grinding here and smoothing and polishing, I'm going to tack weld it right there. Tack, 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 and tack. Very rarely is a backing plate mounted solidly to the spindle, but in this case it's not going to matter on this little old tractor. I might accidentally come to the other side and put some, I may very well do that. I may cut some little short 1-inch pieces of metal, pop a hole, come around to the other side, put the bolts in it, hold it in place, then weld the little ear, you know, weld the little bracket on the back. I could do that. I don't believe that's necessary, but I will. Alright guys, that's bogging me down, and that's what's taking so long to get this done. Like I say, you know, here's the spindle that goes over to this side and bolts here to hold the front wheel assembly on. While I'm at it, I mentioned that while I'm at it, I'm going to put some rubber boots here, because as that telescope's in and out, grease comes with it, and eventually that'll cake over with dirt freeze it, you know, may not freeze it up, but it won't do it no good to get dirt in there. So I'm going to take it back out, cut a piece of inner tube, put around it, all the way around it, and clamp it. That way it'll be a homemade seal. Keep the dirt from debris and foreign objects from getting into the slide. Well, alrighty, there's your shoes. There's the shoes that will fit the front drums. This is going to solve it. There ain't no question about it. Any type of hydraulic brakes will solve these brakes were designed to stop a 3,000-pound car at 90 miles an hour if necessary. I'm leaning more towards just tack welding that. Just tack it. It'll be real simple to do that. Alright guys, there you go. Drums are in great shape. Full thickness. I don't believe them's ever been turned. And like I say, they're ultra thin. See how thin those things are? I'm going to have room to spare. Here's the wheel cylinder I took off when I trimmed that with a torch. The backing plate with a torch while ago. I didn't want to put no excessive heat on it. Just to keep it out of the way and keep it safe. Wheel cylinders are in great shape. Drums are in great shape. Shoes look good. I'm not even going to buy shoes. Okay. I was supposed to get down to 18 degrees tonight, so I don't know what it's going to do tomorrow. But I'm going to piddle-paddle around up here for a little while. Maybe get one side put back on. Then I've got to buy 2 master cylinders. And I'm probably going to buy them for a 64 Chevrolet short wheelbase fleet side pickup. Like the one I have down behind the house. It's got a little tiny, little bitty, tiny small master cylinder. A little round one about the size of an orange or a quart fruit jar lid. You know, it's just one of the smallest master cylinders you've ever seen. Buy 2 of them. And maybe this won't be long. Well, alrighty, you can see what has to be done when you go to building something and putting it where it ain't supposed to be. You run into headaches. Here's the reason I did not mess with the back. When I built the undercarriage and the sliding tubing for my suspension, I knew I was coming back past the rotor, but I didn't think that would ever matter because I really thought them rear pads would do it. And you know, a little bitty caliper back here would do it, but I just assumed go and put the drum brakes on it and not have to retrim this. You know, if I put a bigger rotor, even if I put drum brakes on the back here, you would still had to have took a saw, cut that off. And since it's welded solid back here to where dirt and stuff can't get in it, I put a cap over and welded it. There's no sense in doing that. The tractor will never know the difference on whether or not the brakes are on the front or rear. It'll turn just like it would have if they're on the back, whether or not it was on the front. It won't make no difference. That's the reason undercarriage tubing went back past the rotor. That's why I didn't mess with putting them on the back or changing the rotor or putting drum brakes on the back. Just a whole bunch of extra work right there, and I've been through more work on this than most people would be willing to do. Okay guys, y'all have a good one. I'm going to catch up on the brakes. And see you next time, okay? Next video I'll make will have the brakes on it and it operating. Adios.